You're not just useless, you're a burden. My father didn't even look up when he said it. The room went silent. My mother folded her arms like she agreed with every word. And my younger brother, he smirked. Like this was normal. Like I deserved it. I'm trying, I said quietly. Trying, my father snapped. At what? Failing. That hit harder than anything. I swallowed it. Like always. Because in this house I was the disappointment. The one who never did enough. Never earned enough. Never was enough. But what they didn't know, what none of them knew, was that my grandmother had been watching everything. Every insult. Every ignored moment. Every lie. And 3 days later, at the reading of her will, everything they believed about me shattered. I grew up in a house where silence felt safer than speaking. My name is Zayan, and in my family I was the useless one. Not officially, of course. No one ever said it kindly. They said it casually like it was just a fact. Zayan won't handle it. Don't expect much from him. Leave it, he'll mess it up. My younger brother Hamad was the golden child. Straight A's. Confident. Loud. Everything I wasn't allowed to be. I worked small freelance jobs online. Nothing big, but enough to survive. Still, to my parents, it wasn't real work. You sit at home and click buttons, my mother would say. The only person who never treated me that way was my grandmother. She'd call me late at night. Beta, are you eating properly? I'd lie and say yes. She always paused like she knew. And then one day she stopped calling. 3 days later we were all sitting in a lawyer's office. And something felt wrong. The room smelled like old paper and quiet tension. My father sat straight, confident. My mother looked calm. Hamad was scrolling on his phone, barely interested. The lawyer adjusted his glasses. We'll begin with the distribution of assets. Properties, land, jewelry. Everything was being listed. And every single time, it went to my father. Then my mother. Then Hamad. Not once did my name come up. Not once. I felt my chest tighten. My father leaned back with a smirk. As expected. Then the lawyer paused. There is one final document. He looked directly at me. My heart skipped. This is a separate instruction from your grandmother. My father frowned. Just read it. The lawyer opened it slowly. To my grandson Zayan, the only one who never asked me for anything. The room shifted. Hamad laughed under his breath. This should be good. Then the lawyer continued. I leave what truly matters. My father snapped. Stop the drama and just say it. The lawyer looked up. You might want to hear all of it. Before the lawyer could continue, my father cut him off. This is getting ridiculous, he snapped. He doesn't deserve anything. He's done nothing his whole life. My mother didn't even hesitate. It's probably something emotional. Old people get attached to useless things. And useless people. Hamad chuckled, leaning back like he was watching a show. Relax, bye. Maybe she left you her prayer mat or something. The room filled with quiet laughter. And just like that, whatever tiny hope I had collapsed completely. I felt my throat tighten, but no words came out. Not one person, not even for a second, thought I was worth anything. I stood up slowly. You can continue without me. My father didn't stop me. Didn't even look at me. See, he said to the room. This is why he'll never be anything. Always running away. That sentence followed me all the way out. I walked without direction. No destination. No purpose. Just walking. The noise of the city blurred around me. Cars, people, life moving forward like I wasn't even part of it. By the time night fell, I found myself sitting on a cold metal bench near an empty roadside. My phone was silent. No missed calls. No messages. No one cared that I had left. I stared at my hands. The same hands they said had never built anything. Maybe they were right. Maybe I really was nothing. A burden. A disappointment. A waste. My chest felt heavy, like something inside me was breaking. Slowly, quietly. Then her voice echoed in my head. Zayan, one day, you won't have to prove anything to anyone. I clenched my fists, my eyes burning. If that's true, I whispered into the empty night, then why does it feel like I've already lost everything? Tears slipped out before I could stop them. For the first time, I didn't hold them back. And somewhere in that silence, one question kept repeating. If she believed in me, what did she actually leave behind? The next morning my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. Hello. Zayan, the voice said calmly. This is Advocate Rahman, your grandmother's lawyer. My heartbeat quickened. I believe you left before the will was fully read. I stayed quiet. There's something important that your grandmother specifically wanted you to receive. Alone. That word hit differently. Alone. An hour later I was back in the same office. But this time it felt different. No family. No judgment. No mocking smiles. Just me. And the truth waiting to be uncovered. The lawyer gestured for me to sit, then placed a sealed envelope on the table. This was not meant for anyone else, he said. Only you. My fingers trembled as I picked it up. For a moment, I hesitated. Then I opened it. Inside. Documents. Legal papers. Bank statements. Property files. My confusion grew with every page. This doesn't make sense, I murmured. Then I saw the letter. Folded neatly. I opened it slowly. Zayan, it began. I knew they would never see your worth, so I made sure one day they would have no choice but to face it. My breath caught. Everything they think they own is not truly theirs. I looked up, my voice barely steady. What does that mean? The lawyer leaned back slightly, watching me carefully. It means, he said, your grandmother didn't just leave you something. He paused. She left you control. My heart started pounding. But control over what exactly? The lawyer leaned forward, his voice steady. Every property listed yesterday. Every asset your family celebrated. He tapped the documents in front of me. Is part of a controlled trust. I frowned, trying to process it. A trust? I asked. Yes, he replied. A legally binding structure where ownership is more complicated than it appears. My chest tightened. Who controls it? I asked quietly. He didn't look away. You do. The words didn't register at first. I what? Your father, mother, and brother, he continued. They are not owners. They are temporary holders. Caretakers. My mind raced. Any major decision, selling property, accessing large funds, transferring assets. He paused just long enough for it to sink in. Requires your approval. Silence. Heavy. Unreal. For the first time in my life, I wasn't powerless. But why? I asked. Why not just give it to me directly? The lawyer gave a faint smile. Because your grandmother wanted the truth to reveal itself first. And it did. Every insult. Every humiliation. Every moment they showed exactly who they were. When they thought I had nothing. A week later I called them all for a meeting. They walked in casually. Confident. Unbothered. Still seeing me as the same useless Zayan. My father crossed his arms. What is this about? I placed the documents on the table. Read them. First they looked annoyed. Then confused. Then their faces slowly drained of color. This can't be right, my mother whispered. Hamad's voice shook. You're lying, right? I leaned back, calm, steady. For years, I said quietly, you called me useless. My father opened his mouth. I raised my hand. Not anymore. Silence filled the room. Thick. Uncomfortable. Real. I'm not here to destroy you, I continued. Relief flashed across their faces too quickly. I'm here to change how this works. I stood up. You can stay, live your lives. They leaned forward, hopeful. Under my rules. And just like that, everything shifted. As I walked away, I remembered her voice again. You won't have to prove anything. She was right. 'Cause now, I didn't need their approval. I had something far more powerful. The truth. If this story hit you, if you've ever felt underestimated, ignored, or treated like you don't matter, then this channel is for you. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next story. Because trust me, the next one will hit even harder. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in Zayan's place?